How you doing? I'm Kenny Merrill. I'm from Dennis, Mass. I'm here on Cape Cod near the beaches in Wellfleet. Part of the story, though, Sir Brian, is that in 1988 I had a brother that died tragically in a motorcycle accident. It was part of our surf club. So we came here as a group with the guys that put together the Jaspers and all those guys that put together the surf contests, and they respected Mark and the guys from our club. They actually named the best surfboard, you know, the oldest and nicest surfboard that comes to the contest in the name of my brother Dave, Sparky Merrill. So, out of respect to my brother, we kind of do our own board collection and keep up with what's going on. And I come here every year as part of it. And if you want to get filmed, you got to come to my house in Dennis, and I have 100+ surfboards there, and you can take pictures of them and say that this is what it's all, you know, because it's all about a
You
collection.
have 100 surfboards at your house?
At my house,
And they're
yeah.
all classic.
And they're all classic.
They're all classic boards, and I have an anxiety attack every time he moves one of them because
So part of
he needs to learn how to take care of these museum pieces.
Don't come to
They're museum pieces.
They're really valuable. Yeah.
And this is my house, and it's also a little surf museum in honor of my brother Dave, who died a long time ago, who was one of our first surfers. And as you come down, I hope you enjoy the visuals. I built this house back in 1994, and at first this basement was just full of our skating around, and after time the surfboards have taken over. I just come back from Myrtle Beach this week, and I brought back a little prize. People might like this. This is an actual Lopez lightning bolt. Lopez right there. Probably wasn't shaped by Jerry Lopez himself, but certainly authorized by him. And this would be something you would bring to Pipeline if you wanted to kill it. So when you're looking over here, this is part of the major part of the collection. Right here is an original Tom Blake coupe box design, not original from the 1930s, but something was probably made after 45 because it's got sheets of 8x10 plywood in it. Really cool board, hollow obviously inside, has the original fin on the back end, and if you can see, it actually has the metal portal where you could drain it if you needed to on the far side, on this other far side here. I put a little rubber gasket for now, but there would be a plug in there. On this side over here are all my big Dewey Webers, starting with a couple of performers in the middle with a nice, beautiful colors. This top one has a nice blue on the top. These are amazing boards, a couple of hatchet fins in them. The bottom one I rode, I bought that at the, I bought that from Cinema Rangers for $125 back in like 1987 maybe. Amazing board, surfed it a lot. Two boards right here in front of you are a couple of Jim Phillips, the genius. Originally made some boards in Rhode Island, moved out to Hawaii. These are incredible boards. It's a piece of shortcake, I would call that right there. This is probably the most sexiest board in the world. If I pulled that thing out, she is sexy and she'll kill it. She's a good looking board. The Katri right next to it, another famous shaper from the East Coast, and obviously sanctioned to have a lightning bolt on it by Jerry Lopez. Heading down this way, this is my Hobie rack. A bunch of Hobies on this rack. Gary Proper at the top. Gary Proper, of course, is the most famous Hobie board in New England. It's the most sought after. I actually have 3 Gary Propers. That is not the original fin on that one right there. I have a Gary Proper that's also on the rack on the other side, and one that's underneath the rack that was knifed and gunned, and I've repaired it, and it's got a new fin on it, and it's awesome. Also out in front of this, you can see my only deck board I have. I bought that last year from somebody over in New Bedford, and kinetic surfboard right here. Over down here below is a real cool board. This is a Greg Noll with a little S stringer in it. Love this board. I bought this for about $500 about a year or two ago. The fin was needed some repair, and I actually repaired the fin about 2 or 3 weeks ago before I went back on vacation. It looks really awesome. Back in the hollows here, I have another Sunset gun. This is a Corky Carroll Cool Stick, which was made probably in the 80s right here for guys that were going to be, you know, older guys that used to longboard, wanted to get into the shortboard. Really cool looking board. Over here in this rack, a couple special boards. The top board here is a Hanson 50/50 that I don't think was ever put in the water. The story goes that a young man going off to military in Vietnam bought this, waxed it, took it to the beach. I don't think he ever surfed it because if you look at it, it doesn't look like anybody stepped down it or anything. And then, of course, killed in the war. Family put it in their attic for 25, 30 years. And then some guy who was like a maintenance guy doing some type of work in their house, bought it from them. He owned it for another 15 years, and I bought it from him about 5-6 years ago. I paid $700 for this board, and it is amazing looking. Hawaiian board here, made in 1965. The real cool about this board, what's called?
Inner Island?
Inner Island, yeah, very famous shaper. And the cool part about this board here is I got this on the 25th year anniversary of Brother Dave's death. And the shaper of this board, my brother's nickname was Sparky. The shape of this board, Sparky.
Wow.
Incredible.